If you realize that this was just literally a mirror, just a reflection, and that it will continue reflecting whatever you pour your energy into, all the things that you feel trigger you, it's not about going up to the mirror and fixing them. It's about asking them, how are you trying to help me? This is for the best. Everything is for the best. I only want to know how. So by asking that kind of question, how is this helping me? And keeping an open mind, I'll find the answer of how it's helping me. Maybe it's time for an upgrade. Maybe it's time for a new action, which will lead to a new creation. So that's how you make the mirror smile. Yeah. If you were constantly focused on what you're for, whatever it is, love, connection, appreciation, kind words to another person, if you were constantly focused on that energy instead of wasting your time being against something else, how would that change your life? In fact, awakening is all about removing the against energy. That's it. When you're not against anything or anyone, you're in love. That is love. Love is not against anything, because to be against is to divide yourself into two and have one part be against another. But love is one. So it knows no against. What do you think would happen if you were never against anything? Think about it. Things come up in your life, and sometimes you stop and react to things and go like, gosh, I hate that this is there and I hate that that's there. And why do they do this? And why do they do that? Right? That's normal. That's what we think of as normal. That's what people do every day. But what if you didn't have that reaction? Or what if that reaction was very, very short-lived and you never felt that you were against anything? How do you think your life would change? It's worth pondering, because what I maintain is that that energy of against is the whole problem. You see, this whole thing is your own reflection. It's a mirror, it's an illusion, it's a dream. And in this dream, as opposed to in the real reality, which we'll talk about in a moment, in this dream, there is good and bad, right? That's the whole thing. This dream is a dream of duality. There's the innocent, there's the guilty, there is the lovely and the ugly. What we tend to do is we tend to look at the side of things that we don't prefer, the ugly, the guilty, the bad, et cetera, all the things that we judge. And then we want to change it. And so we engage with that and go to kind of war with it. We're against it, you see, and really that maintains it there. Just by being against it, just by judging it, you become equal to that vibration. So what we could do instead is to let that be there, because that's just part of this dream. Part of this dream is that it's going to have this duality until one day we all stop reacting to the bad and just align ourselves with what we do prefer. So what that means is, instead of pushing against something, we're just being for what we prefer. Imagine if activism worked like that these days. Instead of pushing against, inspiring and motivating everyone for what we should do, what would be better. And if you want to sell us something, sell us that new vision that we all want to align with. I know it could be easier said than done, but you know what? If you're listening to this, then it starts with you. It starts with me. We can start in our own lives, regardless of, bigger things in the world, just in our own lives right now, aligning with the things that we do prefer instead of pushing against the things that we don't. Now, ultimately, this is about aligning yourself with who you really, really are, which is love. And so if love is what you are, every time you are out of alignment with that love, you feel like you are out of touch with yourself. And then you start feeling like something's lacking. And then you tend to look for it outside. And then you tend to try to fix things outside, so that maybe when they're different, you will then feel connected again and happy and joyful and at peace and in your power. And again, that's the whole mistake of going up to the mirror and trying to change the mirror. Mirror, smile, make a smile on the mirror. It's not going to make you smile. If you want the mirror to smile, you have to smile, obviously. But how can you smile when you're so busy being against something, right? So all the things that you don't prefer, that's okay. You can let them go. You can not react to them, or you can react gently to them from a vibration that isn't a match to them, that isn't an against, that isn't a judgment. Just say, okay, this dream includes this bad stuff. It includes this negative stuff, right? But I'm not playing on that level. It's just not my choice. I choose instead to align myself with what I really am, which is love. And that's all you're ever doing. You're either aligning yourself with what you are or you're out of alignment with what you are. And only one of those feel good. This is a dream, but this dream can reflect the reality or it can just reflect something that is totally out of touch with love, reality. So if you want to dream a dream that reflects your true reality, that is a reflection of your true reality, you have to dream it with love, not with against, not with war. You have to dream it with peace, with joy. That's what you want anyway. So this dream will just reflect how much you're actually in touch with that reality or out of touch with it. That's it. That's what it comes down to. So try to get that feeling of what it would feel like to just focus on what you're for rather than what you're against. If you were constantly focused on what you're for, right? Whatever it is, love, connection, uh, appreciation, um, kind words to another person. If you were constantly focused on that energy instead of wasting your time being against something else, how would that change your life? If you realize that this was just literally a mirror, just a reflection, and that it will continue reflecting whatever you pour your energy into, and that you are totally free to decide what it is you want to pour your energy into. And you'll find that the more you relax into love and let nothing pull you out of it, nothing in the reflection pull you out of it, then what's going to come from you, because you're the cause and not the effect. All you're seeing out here is just the effect. But what's going to come from you is just more of that love. And the more you give that, the more you'll be receiving that. The more you put that out, that's what you're going to see, right? So that's how you make the mirror smile. Yeah. Is you start to smile, which means you start to come from that love. And it's really simple. It's not like you have to do that much. All it is relaxing back into that and just not reacting, not going into the against energy. In fact, awakening is all about removing the against energy. That's it. When you're not against anything or anyone, you're in love. That is love. Love is not against anything, because to be against is to divide yourself into two and have one part be against another. But love is one. So it knows no against. All it sees about the negative stuff is that they're simply out of alignment with what it is, which means that they're not real. What is not love is simply not real. But when you give your energy to it, it will be real to you. And then you suffer because you seek for love again. But you'll never find it by going against what you don't prefer. So we can, throughout the day, find all those resistances within us where we want to go against something. Remember, wait, that's just a reflection. If I'll put my energy into that, I'll get more of that. Let me come back. Let me return to love, relax into it. Remember, this is just a reflection. Nothing can really happen to me. Nothing at all can really happen to me. And the question is only, what do I choose to see? So the Course in Miracles says beautifully, when you want only love, you will see nothing else. So if I can come back to that love instead of the against and just move from there, I can use the against positively by saying, wait, that triggered me. Why? It's not about that person. It's not about that thing. All it's really about is it's showing me something that I don't prefer. And if I ask myself, well, what do I prefer? I can kind of by contrast come to realize what is leading me to. There's maybe some action I need to take. We can always ask what the reflection is trying to show us. What is this telling me? Maybe there's something in me that wants to move to the higher or better version of myself. Maybe this is reflecting to me what I'm not doing that I should be doing. Maybe this is reflecting to me that I'm sick of being this version of myself. Okay, maybe it's time for an upgrade. Maybe it's time for a new action, which will lead to a new creation, right? So all the things that you feel trigger you, it's not about going up to the mirror and fixing them. It's about asking them, how are you trying to help me? This is for the best. Everything is for the best. I only want to know how. So by asking that kind of question, how is this helping me? And keeping an open mind, I'll find the answer of how it's helping me. See? So it's not about going up to that and changing that. It's about, what are you trying to show me? Right? And then you can learn from things and be willing to not only change the way you think about things, but be willing to also take new actions, be brave in that way. And so the amazing thing is that even the so-called negative things in your life, you can actually use positively. And if you use everything positively, you're absolutely in touch with the universe. You're in touch with that reality. You're in touch with that oneness, because everything is positive. Everything is useful. Everything is helpful. Everything is for you. There's nothing against you. So when you're in touch with that energy where everything is for you and everything is for the best and everything is good, you're in the flow. You're flowing with the universe. You're flowing with the love. And that's the feeling that we're looking for. When you're in resistance, you're out of the flow. You're against the universe. You're singing the universe is against you. Things are against you. You're against them. All of that is happening. So one of the greatest tricks is to simply allow yourself to interpret every single thing that happens as for you. How is this for me? And if you really, 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 really believe that it is for you, you'll see that it is. You'll find something that it's trying to tell you that is helping you move forward on your path. All we have to do is be willing to learn the lesson that it wants to teach us.